Alright, Simmers, and welcome to this video. We're just here. I already created a shell, but what we're doing today, I stole this idea from Plumbella, who did a challenge where she made a house, and then she tried to fill the house up with stuff from stuff packs, and that's the only stuff that she could use. So I decided that I was going to do that challenge too, but I wanted to one up it just a little bit. I decided I'm going to use all the stuff packs in The Sims 4, but I'm also going to use everything in the stuff packs. So this is like the ultimate challenge. It looks really messy for a really long time, I'm not going to lie. But it starts to look good afterwards, and I am really impressed with what I came out with at the end. I'll note that the backyard is a little messy. I don't necessarily like all aspects of the backyard, but I did want to use every pack that I could. But to begin with, I actually try to lay out all the stuff in a room, so it was um, easier for me to figure out which packs I was using. But I ended up putting like certain packs in different rooms just where they made sense, and I put like outside stuff outside, and it looks like a total mess to begin with. Like the whole thing looks like a mess. But as I'm as it goes along, it comes together, and hopefully in the end you can see that. But I do want to tell you guys, I did forget while I was doing pack by pack, I forgot to include the spooky stuff apparently, and like I don't include it until like a long time into the video, so just don't be scared that I am completely abandoning ship. I am actually gonna use it, but I just needed time to get everything together. But as you can see here, I moved my stuff to a new lot. This is where I think the Munch family lives, but I'm gonna put this house there, and I think I'm actually gonna do that house but move it over to a different lot. I just needed a bigger lot for all the stuff that I included in this. Um, with stuff packs, you don't think it's a lot to work with, but then when you actually have it, it's crazy how much stuff it actually is. This actually took me 4 hours to do, and I kept going back and forth on a few stuff, like things, and in the beginning it was so confusing doing everything, and I ended up changing out like the layout of what I wanted. I was actually gonna do another spooky closet like I did in my every room is a different pack challenge. I was gonna do another spooky closet, but I decided against that. Instead, I just like put the Halloween stuff all over. I put it mostly in the kids' room, and I'll be honest, like with the pumpkins and stuff, I just set them outside because I didn't know what to do with them. But the yard ends up being really big on this lot. The water slides were probably like a really horrible thing. But I do realize the wind chimes, I do use them. I just think I cut out the part where I put them up. But if you download the save, they're going to be there. They're just on the back porch. There are 3 variations of them, but considering like it's not much of a change, I didn't actually include them. You'll notice like for a few items, if like some of the lights hung a little lower than other ones, but they had like 3 different item categories, I only included one. So I tried to make sure that I included everything in each pack, and that even includes wallpapers and stuff like that. Um, I wanted to use one of everything at least, and I did that, and I literally had to stockpile items and then fix the rooms afterwards. And I know this video is long. If you want to go ahead, I would recommend you skip ahead to a part in the video that's actually like me doing stuff, because right now you can see I'm just like organizing the rooms and putting stuff. Like right now it looks very organized and like I actually have a game plan, but it gets messed up really quick. So I don't know what point that would be at. I would just have to check. But you'll see here I do make a basement, and that's only because the bowling alley, it would be impossible because I didn't like, the house is big but it's not that big. So I decided to make a basement where I had a bowling alley and an in-home gym. So considering there were no like shell limitations, I think that's okay for me to do. But um, that's what I did, and this challenge is really hard. If you think you're up to the challenge, I'd say do it. I don't know, maybe I'll do something in the future where I do different like expansion packs and different game packs, like every game pack and then every expansion pack. But I don't know how well that would fare with the expansion packs, because yeah, they're really great and they include like a lot of stuff, which this challenge is really hard as it is. But there are like less expansion packs and less game packs than there are sub packs, but it still adds up to a fair amount of stuff. And then not only that, but you have to think about how many bathrooms you're gonna end up having, because how many toilets and how many things each pack has, or how many countertops even. Like this game, or this, like the sub packs luckily had only 2 countertops, so I did like an outdoor kitchen and then an indoor kitchen. But there's so many other packs, like expansion packs especially, where a lot, like a big part of the expansion pack was a kitchen. So like I would have to include countertops that I wouldn't want to use. But I don't know, I like this challenge because there's a lot of stuff I don't use or I don't think about using, and it really showed how difficult it can be. I had to use toddler stuff even though there's no toddler living in this house, but maybe the person's planning on having a child, or they dreamed about having another child and they just are setting it up. And they do have a guest bedroom, so they can easily convert that into a toddler's room. But I mainly made a child's room, a teenager's room, and a parent's room with a guest room next to it. Um, but the child's room I actually really enjoyed. It does 2 rooms I gotta warn about. The child's room and the teenager's room. It's pretty wild, and it's just because there was a lot of stuff and it worked really well inside, so I used it. But I don't know if it's too much, if it's too chaotic. But I think because they're kids and because they're teenagers, they have an excuse to have like a messy room. Because I'm 20, I just like got out of my teenage years, but I'm still like pretty messy at home. And I think it's fairly normal for it to be like that, especially if like there's dogs barking outside. Especially if there's like a whole room dedicated to like playing, which I attached the playroom to the child's room, and I think that was a cool thing that I did. But I did have a struggle with the doors in this game, because if you notice with the stuff packs, I keep forgetting what they're called, but if you notice with the stuff packs, there are no arches in any of the packs. I don't know how many there are. I want to say 16, but that's just a number coming off my head right now. But out of all of them, none of them have arches, so I had to actually like make a more open concept. So the hallway, and then the kitchen, and then the guest room, or I don't know what to call that. The entertainment room, I guess. It's not a living room, but it's not anything special. I guess it's like where I added a bar and stuff like that. But I don't know. I actually put stuff in the front yard, just so I would remember to put it down. And I made the walls really tall wall height. So I did large on the bottom and then medium on the top. But that's because I wanted more access to windows, and the fitness stuff one, they only had the single wide windows in the large one, and that's the only single wide windows that we have in this whole pack. And I know I watched Little Simsy, and she did a video yesterday, I believe, where it was about the new Eco Living pack. They all the simmers who are game changers got a code in, or I don't know what it is, like a program in the mail, because usually they go to Sims Camp, but they didn't this time around, and they got that, and they've been doing all their early access and stuff like that, and it's really cool because I wasn't really excited for this pack, but then as I'm watching these videos, I'm getting more and more excited, especially for the build and buy mode. But apparently they have the patch update where you can actually put doors and stuff like that and windows on a half wall, so it's not like that awkward tile movement type thing where you can, like, it doesn't look good on all the walls. And then you can also alt place them with the new update that's coming out, which is really helpful. So basically you can put the windows on any part of the wall, which right now it's pretty limited with doors and windows on where you can put them. So I'm really excited for that, but sadly for this build I didn't have it. But I'm gonna tell you, the Spooky Day stuff came in clutch when it had to do with flooring, because it was the only wood flooring we had. We only had 3 flooring options throughout the whole pack, and it was the only pack that had like a wood flooring or anything that looked normal. So it was great to put it on like all the floors that needed it, and it's a nice color too. It doesn't look too out of place. It looks like a little bit older, but I think that's more of a style choice of what the family did, like if they moved in. I think it looks really nice, and I'm pretty happy with it. But as you can see, I wanted to incorporate all the stuff in the pack, so I had to use all the rodent cages and put them in spots in the house. And y'all actually notice that I put another bed in the child's room, but it gets moved because I realized I didn't even put a bed in the teenager's room. But at first I was like, oh, well, the kid could have a second bed just in case like they want to sleep in the room where they play all their toys with. And then I was like, no, that's stupid. And so I just put it up in the teenager's room because they didn't even have a bed. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought like maybe another pack had it, and I didn't realize, and I used it, but I didn't, and that's what I did. But this build is very interesting, especially in the child's room, I believe. It gets very creative. The child has a carpeted floor, which is that zigzag one that came in the Spooky Day stuff, and then I changed the wallpaper in the playroom to the spider webs, and I thought that looked really cool, but I needed flooring that matched. And looking at the camera right now, I don't know why I didn't choose that blue one that I went by. But the green looks fine, and I think it adds more depth to the whole build. But I liked using the movie hangout door to connect the rooms because A, I didn't have anywhere else to put it, but B, it looks pretty nice where it's at, and I think it's very fitting for a child's room. And I imagine like this family is pretty rich. Like if you see the outside that I'm gonna make, because they have so much stuff, they're definitely loaded. So it makes sense that their child has like an ensuite playroom. But there's supposed to be like, when I was making this, I was like gonna have bathrooms for everybody. Like every room you walked in, you would have an ensuite bathroom. But even though like that's practical in some gameplay, you're not really gonna find that. And just where I placed the doors and some of the things, it turned out to just like connect to the hall. So there's a lot of bathrooms that connect to the hall, and it may seem unfair to some people because the guest bedroom actually has a ensuite, but the main bedroom doesn't. So like the master bed doesn't have one, and maybe that's a design flaw. But I would think like if you're living in a house and you have guests over, you will want them to feel the most comfortable. So like you probably wouldn't mind not having an ensuite while the guest room does. Because like you can just use the one in the hallway, like that's the family bathroom. That's the one where all the family goes in. So I didn't see much of a problem with that, and like I it's not really gonna affect the gameplay at all. Just having a bathroom in The Sims is a blessing in itself. But I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm talking like I'm rambling a little bit, and I'm talking like a little bit low, but that's because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And honestly, I don't know why. I was talking on the phone with my friends, and then I don't know, I was thinking about making this video, and I realized it's late, like when I'm uploading it. But I did have to work yesterday, and I don't know, I didn't plan out my time right, and so I apologize for that. But I will have this uploaded, I believe, by Sunday. I hope. But that's when that's gonna come out. So my upload time, just in case you don't know, or if you're new here, I upload every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but except for yesterday, Saturday. But usually when I miss a day, I try to make up for it on a day where I don't post. So this one should come up either on Sunday or Monday, but hopefully Sunday, fingers crossed. The only reason it takes so long a lot of the time is because the upload time is long and it's unpredictable. But I'm not gonna make excuses. So this teenager's room, I had a real big idea for. I wanted it to look kind of like a Pinterest room. Like obviously they copied a lot of stuff that they seen online, and they really took inspiration from like a lot of different people. So I like the teenager's room was kind of the first thing I thought about because movie hangout was my first pack that I ever bought. I always saw like Simmers like playing with that because at the time it was pretty new, and like it became a lot of people's favorite because it's obviously a new pack. They're gonna love it. So I was thinking about that pack, and I'm like, well, if I'm making like this modern type house, where would like movie hangout fit in? Because like it doesn't fit. Like with the scheme I was going with. But then I was like, oh, like teenagers, and stuff like that, because like a lot of teenagers, like, because I know, like, growing up when I talked to my friends who played Sims, they love that pack, and I love that pack. So I'm like, obviously I can make a teenager's room out of that, and that's what I did. And the color scheme is a lot different than what I was expecting, um, but I surprised myself, if I can say the least. Um, but I can't believe I even got it done. I thought I was gonna quit, but once you're like halfway, or even like making something resembles a house, like you feel accomplished. But I do apologize if I did miss anything. I went back and I tried to double check to see if I got everything. But this is a hard challenge to do, just because like you can't sort, like you can sort it, but like you can't like check if you're missing anything. Like you would have to go item by item and look around to where you put wherever that item was, and I didn't feel like doing a full check. But yeah. But the Murphy beds, I think I had trouble inserting those too in the build, because they're like, this family didn't need Murphy beds. They don't have a tiny house at all, but I found places to put them, and they actually should function well, I think. They should work. Maybe not the one in the office, but I think the one in like the party room should work. But the sad part about the office is that there is no computer, and that's only because the computers for like all the Sims, they're either base game or they are like a game pack or a expansion pack, like add-on. And um like for this challenge, I kind of wanted to do mainly the sub packs, and there were only times when I broke it when it seemed necessary. So I didn't do it unless it wasn't necessary. So what is base game is obviously the stairs that I included, but I also did the roofing, because there's no roofing texture in any of the packs um, that are sub packs, and then there's no like trim or anything like that I could use. But if it's like non-essential, like the middle trim, or I don't know, like the stairs, obviously, or if it's not essential, like the middle trim, I'm too tired. If it's not essential, like middle trim, or just like a computer, like your sim doesn't need a computer, and if you really want one, you could just add one in. This house is probably super expensive though, so if you're on a budget, this isn't the house for you. But with the doors to the bathrooms, I tried to use doors that had like a sense of privacy. So the laundry day stuff windows have like that little curtain that, like, if you had that door, you can pull it down, obviously, for privacy. But I really wanted like a modern look to the house, so I wanted to use like the ones in Tiny Living, the doors with the windows on it. But practically, like on a practicality, it wouldn't work, because if you're like living here, obviously you wouldn't want like a glass door to your bathroom, because you may be close with your family, but what if you have friends over? Like, they wouldn't be comfortable or anything like that. So I used the laundry day stuff doors, and I just did them in a white. I think they blended in okay enough, and I don't know. You may not like it, but that's what I had to do to make it work. Um, I think this house turns out to be pretty modern, like especially on the inside. Maybe not the outside as much, but that's because I had to put all the toddler stuff, and I did not quit until I used every item that I saw, and that included all the fences. So I used every single fence. There's only 4, but they are all wildly different. So this house, I will warn, it does not have an outdoor trash can. I did include a mailbox, but the outdoor trash can, I just assumed the Sims would just have like a garbage farm, because I didn't see why they needed it. But as you can see here, like, the house is kind of coming together. Like, the rooms actually are starting to look like rooms, and I had fun doing it. I had a lot of fun. Realistically, a rug wouldn't clip like that onto um, the roof, obviously, in this room, but uh, maybe they like cut the corner because they thought that was the perfect spot for the rug. But I imagine that this is a maybe like a single parent living with their teenager and their child. And then I like, when I was building this, I was thinking they had a dog and a cat, like a large dog and a cat. Or it could be like a small puppy and a dog, like a large dog still, or it could be like whatever. I put 2 animal bowls and I sized down the cat one or the puppy one, and I think it came out really nice. I am pretty sure, like, I must have missed a few things while I was scrolling through, cause I was like, didn't the pet bowl come in my first pet stuff, like the bark one? And like, it wasn't anywhere in the house, and I said, like, I know I went through all that stuff. I know I went through that whole menu, and I'm like, maybe I was just going too fast and I forgot it. And there enough, like, I did it and I realized that I forgot it, and that's how that happened. So that's what makes me scared that I did forget a few things, but I am overall proud. If I forgot like 1 or 2 things, please don't come for me. This is a hard challenge, and if you don't believe me, you should try it out yourself. It's hard, but it's kind of fun. Like, I don't want to say it's like fun, because like I definitely had more fun doing other challenges, but I'm always up for a good build challenge, and that's what I did. Oh, and by the way, this lot is in Windenburg. It's in the top left corner of the world map, and um, I will have this saved to the library soon enough. I finally this is an achievement, because you guys know me if you've been here before, but I have not uploaded my houses until like a few days ago. So I finally uploaded them all, and I'm happy. Oh, and I didn't even tell you guys. I told you I finished my finals, but I actually got 3 A's, an A minus, and a B plus. So I am happy. It's so stressful going to school and work, and then still doing this YouTube on top of it. It's always fun to play The Sims, but you know, like, I have to edit the videos and stuff like that, so it feels good. I wish I could just honestly just go to school and then do videos, but obviously I gotta make that money. I gotta make that bread, and so I work. I don't think I should. I don't know if I could tell you guys where I work, but I'll just say I work at a home improvement store. So I work with like tools and stuff like that. But I am a part of the garden department, so I water plants when I work at like 5 in the morning. Um, I love those shifts, but when I don't, I am pretty strong for a girl, so I want to earn my money, so I work really hard, and I like lifting stuff, and I like manual labor like a weirdo. Um, so uh, I'll come home tired sometimes, and then I won't upload a video, and I do feel bad about that. But literally, I came home yesterday, and this is gonna be really bad, but I came home. I I came home at around, it must have been like 2, but I took a nap, and I told my boyfriend. I told him, "Hey, wake me up in like an hour or so. I just want to take a short nap, and then we can go to the store, cuz I wanted to get some soap for my tattoo. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but um I wanted to get some soap for my tattoo so I could wash it." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I wake up, I can see the sun's like already setting, or it's about to set, and usually that means it's like close to 8 o'clock already. And sure enough, it was 7:30 when I woke up. So I slept for 5.5 hours, and it felt like legit. It felt like I slept for only like an hour or two. So I'm like, oh my god, where'd the day go? But lately, I've been waking up very confused, and usually that gets. I sleep a lot more when I'm hot, and I get more confused when I'm hot when I go to sleep. Um, when I wake up, I'm like confused, and I'm dazed, and I'm like, oh, I'm late for work because I feel like it's like the next day already, or I don't know. It's crazy, but um, but no, I was still at home, and it was still the same day, but it was like really late, and I'm like, "Hey, why didn't you wake me up?" And he fell asleep too, of course. So I basically slept the whole day, and then I visited some family, and that's basically what I did. Oh, and for any of you that are concerned about my tattoo, it was a very safe environment. Um, it's family who did it, so it's not anybody who shouldn't be doing it. Like they're obviously doing it for home and only for a few people in our family. So um, they do have their business license, and they're just working from home from right now, and they don't take too many clients on. So it's completely safe, and I trust that person 100%. So I'm not putting myself or anybody in danger by doing it. Yeah. I just didn't want to alarm anybody, and I didn't want to worry you. And like, I wouldn't suggest getting a tattoo right now unless it's someone very close to you, who can legally do it. So that's my 2 cents on the subject. But speaking on the tattoo, I got it on Friday instead of Thursday, so I lied to you guys. But I got it on Friday, and it's of a butterfly and a ladybug, which those were my childhood nicknames growing up, and I really love the tattoo. It's very nice. It's right. I don't know how to. It's in my inner arm. It's right below my armpit. Not on the rib, but like the arm. So like across from the rib, if you may. Um, but when he first did it, I sketched out the whole drawing, and then he did it, and I had to look up because I kept getting whacked in the face with the actual like gun, um, like the wire that attaches to it. He kept whacking me in the face with it on accident. So I was looking up. So I wasn't really looking at the tattoo, but he takes he's like, "All right, we're all done." And I look at it, and he did a stippling technique, which, if you don't know what stippling is, it's just like a bunch of dots that create shading. But I'm more of like with my tattoos, I wanted more of like a simplistic design. So I wanted like thick, just thick black lines. and so like the area where he stippled, I just wanted it all black. And then he was like, but this is in right now. And I'm like, I know, like, it looks nice, it's just it's not what I wanted. And he was like, all right. And he did it. But like, when he finished, he was like, oh, do you like it? And I'm like, oh, it's nice. And he's like, but do you like it? And I'm not one to argue or make someone do something that they shouldn't or anything like that. Um, so I would have went home with the tattoo that I wasn't entirely happy with, just so I wouldn't make someone unhappy. But he's like, lay down, I'm gonna fix it. So he filled it in, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's healing all right too, and I had sensitive skin, so it was very scary for me. I looked up all about it, and I even looked up how to treat it afterwards, because that's most of the battle. Like, yeah, the tattoo artist has to be a little more gentle, but you have to make sure that you pay attention, and that's what I did. And um it's not puffing up, it's not infected or anything, so I'm happy. And I was really scared with the sensitive skin, because literally any material, when it touches my skin, I get hives. So that's what scared me a little bit. But it's coming out all right, and this is my first tattoo, and I think my only one. Maybe I'll get another one on my wrist, but I'm not someone who feels like they need to get more. But that's my thing on the tattoo. I'm a little tired, so I'm just rattling what's on my brain right now. I don't know why I didn't get any sleep. I did call off of work today, but that's because I've been working a lot lately, and so I just really wanted that break today. I would have had to work a full day, from 8 to 4:30, so it feels good to be home and to spend time with my family and stuff like that. And I realize I say and stuff like that all the time, but I feel like that's a perfect filler word. But you can see I'm almost done with the backyard right here, so you can see what I meant by it's like a little crazy. I'm just saying really like in the fenced in area with all the like toddler toys and stuff like that. I think it just gets like a little too hectic over there, but I don't know, all that stuff's really big, and I didn't want to size it down because then it wouldn't be usable anymore. So if you do want to move a toddler into here, you can. And that's what I did. I think I add like a few more finishing touches, but I'm so excited. We had landscape lights, which we didn't have. I don't think we had any porch lights, so I used the bowling night lamp. You'll notice I'll go and delete some things as I'm moving along in this challenge, but that's because I know I will use it somewhere else, or I have used it somewhere else. So I was keeping tabs. I didn't forget anything. So don't be scared, or and don't like be like, hey, you forgot this, you forgot this. And it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. Don't worry. But I had a good time doing this. It was a little stressful, but I don't know. I think I'm really tired, and my voice is starting not to go, but it's starting to hurt. So it's always challenging doing these long voiceovers, because I know by the end of it I'm gonna be like water. um, but I like doing it, and I like talking, even if I don't know if anybody's gonna hear it. So um, I'm just gonna be honest, it gets a little crazy in the teenagers room when I added the ghost wallpaper. But I'm telling you, when I used all these wallpapers and all the floorings and everything, I used them all. Like, I wasn't exaggerating. I wanted to use them all, so I did, because I felt like that was a part of the challenge. So um, the actual like the actual pack that had the most wallpapers was spooky day. So we got Halloween all over. I don't know if, I don't really play test my builds. I'm sorry, but I don't know if that wood critter machine, you can walk by it. But I realized I forgot to put that in. And this curtain, I know I did put it in because at first I was gonna put like all the stuff into like just the backyard and then go like pack by pack putting them in the house to make sure I got everything. But I realized how much stuff I was gonna have to deal with, and it wouldn't have worked that way, so I just didn't. And um, I had that curtain out because it was one of the first. It's the first pack on the list, so it was one of the first ones that I did. And then I got rid of all of that stuff when I deleted because when I was doing like the actual floor plan and stuff, or not the floor plan. When I was doing the shell of the build, I deleted all of it, and then I actually went pack by pack, but put them in the rooms that they probably were gonna go in. Um, but I don't know. I think in the process of that, I lost a few things, but I'm pretty sure I got everything. I'm gonna be so upset if I didn't. But you'll see I put the spider in the laundry room. If it's a real spider, then yikes. If not, I think like that's probably where they put their decorations. Maybe they forgot, because a lot of the times when you have a laundry room that's kind of far away from the rest of the house. It's kind of how my great grandma's house is. She has a laundry room that is in a weird spot, but um, you'll kind of forget to take stuff down, or you'll forget to put stuff away. But I feel like that's where they put it. And I also like the backyard because there's so much stuff to do, and there's so much you can do with the party stuff. So I feel like that's where they host all their parties, and they usually have like a bunch of people there. Um, but I didn't tell you this. I just remembered. But I had the idea that the teenager is a photographer. I feel like the camera and stuff, they saved up their money with allowance, and they bought that. And I actually put like the camera rack on the like with all the equipment and stuff in the teenager's room because I feel like uh, she's into that. I don't want to like. I already have a family in mind. I haven't made them yet. See how I just want to explain like something real quick. When I record videos, I make the build, then I do the voiceover to the speed build, then I do the screenshots after I make the family. So I don't know what the family is. I just have an idea what I want them to be. So the family I believe is gonna be a. I want to say a mom, but I might make a dad instead, and or maybe even a grandparent. That would be cool. And then a teenager, and then that's a girl, and then a child that's a boy. So that I think that's what I want to do. I'm trying to get out of habits of using the same types of family, which I think a lot of people find themselves stuck in. I'm into like making like teenage girls and teenage young adults, but it's a cycle I need to break. And then I make a lot of boy childs to make up for it, but then like I'm obviously making it uneven with the child ratio, so I'm gonna try to fix that. But you'll see I'm doing the front yard. I start to change the actual like paint on the building, and I do the roofing as well, just so it looks more finished. This is what I'm talking about, like these things I thought were like a little bit essential, so I didn't change it. And I just enjoy the fact that when you look at this, you will not see any game packs, any expansion packs, or anything like that on the list of stuff. You're just gonna find this, which is gonna be a lot of stuff. So if you don't have them, I'm sorry. This is not the build for you. You should not download it. But I had a lot of fun making it, and it just feels so fulfilling seeing it afterwards. Like, the best part of editing is that you know you finished this. Like, you know you did this. You know exactly what you did. And this challenge is actually helping me feel Windenburg, and I think I'm kind of swaying more towards the modern style that they have going for them instead of the Tudor style homes. But maybe I'll try to make up a challenge or find a challenge that I can do that can work with the Tudor homes. Because I'm realizing like the top left hand corner is supposed to be the spot with all the traditional Tudor homes, and I'm getting rid of all of them. I built that one modern house recently, and then there's this one, so I need to fix that. And I also need to make more residential lots that I haven't done yet, but we'll get to it. Um, a challenging thing I had to do was the landscaping because there is only one tree that I can use, and that was from Movie Hangout, and there were only the plants from um, the Romantic Garden stuff pack, so that's where I had a little bit of trouble. Uh, and honestly, that pack, it's so overrated, in my opinion. Like, so many people loved it when it came out, and so many people used it a lot, but the plants just aren't really that realistic to me. And then also, there's not a lot for something that's called romantic garden. There's not a lot of plants to utilize in it. Like, you need base game to make them look good. And that's what I just wish they worked a little more on while they were doing this. But I I messed up renting. Like, that was my main issue. But I'm getting close to the end of the video. I just added a few columns in, just to top it off. Those are from Romantic Garden stuff as well. But I think this build came out pretty solid, and it's a monster of a build. I'll be honest, like, crazy build. Also, no computers yet. It's this rich family with no computers, but you'll see, like, I'm just testing what it looks like in the different parts of the day, but then I go in to add, like, a few more details. Um, I forget what I add. I think, oh, I just add, like, the railings and stuff to the stairs, because I almost forgot to add that. But the wind chimes are there. There's one, you can see it right there, but, I added the other one, I think, after I did the stairs. But I will have that when I add it to the gallery, and I hope you guys enjoyed the screenshots, and I hope you enjoyed the build that I did, and I had so much fun. Thank you.